OurDestiny is going to be the biggest advancement and the biggest change for the restaurant industry that it's ever seen before. I'm not here to try to sell anybody on anything. I just want to present this out there, and I really want to have just the best people involved in this project. OurDestiny is a patent. It's going to begin with the restaurant industry, and then it's going to carry into a few other industries moving on. But if you can imagine the restaurant industry as a whole, the most successful parts of the restaurant industry are fine dining. The industry as a whole has an 80% failure rate, which is terrible, and that's why a lot of people don't really want to invest in it. But when you look at fine dining restaurants, they have less than 18% failure rate. Now, that 18% failure rate, the largest portion of it is due to mismanagement, which we're not going to end up having here. But here's what our advancement is. When you go to a fine dining restaurant, you're going there usually because of location. The restaurant industry is all about location. Well, what if we took that to the step 5 or 6 steps further than that? If we brought the location to the restaurant. Now, this has been attempted a long time ago with projection systems, but they couldn't get it accomplished with flat screen technology until now. This is a patent that we hold, and I'm going to explain a little bit about that in the future, but also there's a full detailed plan on our business plan. So what we're going to be doing is taking a room which from the floor level all the way up to the ceiling and all the way across 360 degrees, we're going to be having flat screen projection that's seamless. We're utilizing a new technology called DV LED, Direct View LED, which doesn't have the problems that it's had in the past where you could only see it when it was directly right on. So if you got it at an angle from your tablet or your screen, then you couldn't really see the screen until you got it clear right in the front. So they've been able to correct that issue with DV LED. By not having a liquid crystal, we're able to merge these together without having seams. So this is something that's new. It's never been done before, and we hold a patent now. So we're going to be able to extend this into a lot of other facets of other industries and utilize licensing and whatever else we have to do moving forward. But let's talk about the team a little bit, because the restaurant industry has been around since the beginning of civilization. So the process of what makes that industry work successfully is already out there. We're going to be following the processes of the biggest and most successful entities that are out there for expansion, because this needs to get out there to as many people as possible. The reason for this is the industry, first of all, people in general, they really don't get a chance to travel very much throughout their lifetime. They may get to maybe go on 4 or 5 big trips in their lifetime, and that's all they really talk about. Facebook's cluttered with everything about it. But let's take this a step further. If we could bring all the most beautiful places on this planet and beyond, we even want to get up on the space station and have this custom recording mechanism filming 360 degrees and bring it back into this restaurant so people get a feeling of what it feels like up in space and looking down on our planet, maybe above a hurricane or tornado, something that's giant that can give them experiences they would never really have before. But again, this type of recording has certain limits on it because we can't have motion, because people are going to get nauseous, they're not going to want to be hungry, we want them to eat and drink. So the team that we're going to be having to do this, we're going to be going to the best that's out there. We already have, we posted up YouTube videos to get public opinion polls. It just went like wildfire. The first video, within 2 weeks, we had over 500,000 hits on it. And then we added the mood wall, which there will be a link on this that you can actually take a look at and more closely. The mood wall is going to be huge. It's going to be gigantic for the industry, and in other aspects, it's going to be huge out there. But we're going to be choosing the best people possible to run the restaurant portion of this and all aspects of this, including franchising as we get to the point of expansion. What we want to do is build this first restaurant, get proof of concept down, and then eliminate all the possibilities of issues or problems, finding the best solutions along the way. That way, when we get to the point of franchising, which really isn't going to require a whole lot of investment on our behalf moving forward, because we'll have the franchise capabilities, and it'll be able to get out there at a much faster pace. We'll be utilizing other people's money to be able to build other locations so that they can actually, we'll get revenue streams coming in from streaming videos in addition to the normal percentages for franchises and the franchise fees themselves. But we're going to get the best people involved in every stage of the way along this. And it's going to be fairly simple. Everybody's already been showing they want to be a part of this. Even just LinkedIn, we haven't really done much in the way of promotion at all. And already with LinkedIn, we already got almost 2,000 contacts that want to get involved in this. We even had a whole bunch of people that wanted to actually have their weddings done at our facility. So I think it's 34 people we already have that want to have weddings done. So we already have almost more than half a year's worth of weddings if we do one a weekend. But anyway, and there's people that are wanting to travel from a lot of places actually to get here to actually do that. They may not be able to travel, have passports, get passports to travel overseas. So it's going to be something really big. But you imagine every night in that restaurant, we can have different areas of the world and brought into our restaurants. Everybody can come different night, they're going to see something totally different. We can have a sunset night. There's going to be all kinds of things that we can do. This baseball games, sporting events, seeing what a hurricane or tornado looks like right there without us having to have people there, and the recording mechanism can actually film everything just live, just like that, and bring it back so people can get what the really real feeling is. We see something exciting on TV and we go, oh my God, and our eyes pop open and we look at it, but what if we're right and it feels like they're right there? Because we're going to have sight and sound. So the restaurant industry as a whole, last year at the totals were a little over $800 billion. We want to take this market by storm, and we're already showing, we're getting people that are master chefs at other major restaurants that already want to come on here. Our primary that we're kind of considering right now is a master chef from Louisiana who actually owns his restaurant right now and wants to sell his restaurant and come out and take the master chef position. But although we are looking at all options still, we want to get the best of every aspect of this. So our product vision is we'll open up the first restaurant, and then the second year we want to sell 20 franchises. With the revenue stream that comes from that, it will more than quadruple what this individual restaurant's going to bring in. The numbers are all detailed on the system, but the next year for franchising we're going to do 70, and then 70 to 100 the third year. By this point, when we get to about the end of that fourth year, about 4.5 years, we're already valued at about $1.4 billion. And the numbers are all there on the system, so on the spreadsheet and the business plan. But as far as my history, I have a YouTube video you can actually take a look at and get more details on my history. I've made major changes to the computer industry. I've had a transportation company that transports seafood all throughout the United States. I know just about every vendor that's out there dealing with seafood and beef and restaurant products. I've been delivering it out there. My truck's been delivering it out there for years. 13 years I've owned this business. But and even the process of that business, I've changed things that the industry has never even seen before. And there's a video you can take a look at in more detail, and it explains all those details. So profit margins now. Profit margins typically at a restaurant can vary widely. High-end restaurants or fine dining restaurants typically are between about 23 to about 35%. Rarely does it ever get above 35. There's a few that do. We're going to be at about 39% profit margins on our product. The average person, it's not uncommon for them to go out and spend $65 to $70 or $80 per person for a meal. And that's kind of where we're going to be at, right in that range there. But we're giving them something they can't get anywhere else, nowhere. The franchise fees are going to be a little bit on the high side, but not any more than say a normal fine dining restaurant franchise might be. But the big aspect of this is we want to merge this eventually into the home environments. Master bedrooms, can you imagine, with rooms that you don't have to put pictures on walls anymore. You can have any picture you want, any place you want, in your master bedroom. You can go to sleep anywhere you want, wake up anywhere you want. That'll be one place we're going to be expanding into after about that fourth, fifth year range. We may move it up a little bit faster than that because we feel we're going to get some demand before that. It's growing like wildfire now. We really don't have competitors for this. There's nothing out there that's like this. We're going to be taking this market by storm in every city that we go in. If you could only see some of the reviews that are going on like this right now, it's amazing. Just about every wedding and event coordinator that's out there in the US now has already communicated with us through LinkedIn. The videos, as I mentioned, are extremely popular. I recommend looking at all of them. We're even having contests for people that subscribe and stuff. So we really don't have any competition on this arena. But we're going to be expanding this. We need an initial investment of $25 million. That $25 million has about a $3 million buffer. We've kind of figured about the high-end costs of just about everything possible on this, at the very highest end possible, because we don't want any possibility of failure in this. We know that this process and this design of a new restaurant, everybody wants. And I have never had a single person that gave anything negative about what we're going to be doing here. And that's what we want as an investor, somebody that really wants to leave a legacy behind. Because this is going to be something amazing, not just for me or the people that are going to come to the restaurant. This is going to be something that's important for the entire world. You know, we've had relatives, friends, family that have passed, and we kind of wish maybe we could have done something more with those people, did something special to see that excitement in their face one more time. And that's what we want to do, is give the world this thing. Imagine people being able to be in Niagara Falls, being in an underwater ice cave, anywhere we want to go, fall in New England area. We can bring anything. We can have a sunset night, sunsets from all over the world. We can do almost anything we want to do with this. Baseball games, like I mentioned, football, any kind of sporting event, anything that's big, 4th of July, Christmas, and imagine Santa program. As it bleeds into other aspects of things, like, because the restaurant industry is going to hurt as a whole. We'll be able to sell licenses to these restaurants because they're going to want to have this in their restaurant to have as an attraction. They can actually use OurDestiny technology in our restaurant now. So we'll be able to sell licenses to help boost their business as well. We don't want them all going out of business. But for the most part, fine dining restaurants you're going to see a huge decline when OurDestiny comes out. We're always open to new things. The investment covers every aspect of this. As I mentioned, there is a big buffer in this because we want to make sure everything succeeds all the way completely. We are open to talking about the percentage or how you want to work out the details for your compensation in this. But believe me, it's going to be handsome, because by the time we get to that 4 or 5 year mark, there's going to be a lot of money. Is never going to be an issue. Money really shouldn't be an issue at this part anyway. But we want the best of the best people that's out there. We do not want people to have backgrounds of greed and histories like this, because there are people going to be coming back, media that are going to be coming back and wanting to do interviews to see where this whole concept came from. You're going to see all kinds of like YouTube things and Facebook things. People had such an amazing time at one of our restaurants somewhere. And so they're going to go back and want to interview, like, where did this all come from? What made you want to invest in this? What was the whole purpose behind this? Because you saw this vision. This is going to give people something they've been waiting for their entire life. Civilization's been around all of our lives, and nobody's ever been able to come up with anything close to this except for the projection systems that are out there, which we all know do not look very good. They've been so fuzzy, unclear, and lighting is terrible in those types of rooms. We don't have that problem. If we want to have lighting increase, we simply increase the amount of electricity to the lighting area right above their table, and it'll actually brighten their table up. The sound system is going to be incorporated into the seats of our tables, seats of our chairs that go around the tables. And of course, all the seats can have low backs because we want the view being the optimal reason why they come to our restaurant. So I will be more than willing to come out and talk with anybody that needs to, talk on the phone, do FaceTime, whatever it is, to make sure that we get this moving forward ASAP. We didn't anticipate it was going to move this quickly, but it is obviously moving very fast right now. We haven't even really began to contact investors. They started contacting us through LinkedIn and the videos that were being out there. So we've already turned down a few. It's not the venue that we wanted to go into, not the people that we wanted to. We had a large hotel chain that wanted to come in and utilize this building into one of their hotels, and then incorporating building into hotel rooms to make their hotels a big expansion capability. So that's another aspect we can take a look at down the road, selling it to hotels that might be in the middle of nowhere, but you can feel like you're waking up or being a dance party anywhere in their restaurant or their dance hall or whatever. You can use this thing for all kinds of stuff. Anyway, my name is Rich Berry, and I'd be glad to talk with anybody that needs some additional information on this, and we are going to make this succeed. There is absolutely no possibility of failure in this period. So I don't really need pessimism on this. There's nothing here they should be pessimistic about. This is positive for everybody that's involved. If you were here through the beginning stage of this, you would be seeing almost every day some new great news that gives chills up your spine of what people want, what they want to use this for, what they wish they could have had this for a couple of years ago when their mother or father was alive or their spouse was alive. But it's going to be something amazing, and I want somebody that has the vision that I have, that wants to build something that's going to be a legacy. We're going to be proud to be able to say it was our beginning. So